Hello friends, welcome back. I know it's been a while since we posted, but our Etsy shop got pretty crazy, so we were dealing with that. But now we are back and we're going to kick it off with these wedding earrings. You'll have to excuse my voice, I'm a little bit ill, so if I sound nasally, that is why. We are also going to be giving away the 3 sets of bridal earrings that we're making in today's video, so stay tuned for that and I'll tell you how you can enter to win. I'm using 3 different types of clay today. I've got Sculpey Premo in white and translucent, and then a white translucent by Cernet. Everything I'm using will be listed down below. I'm starting off with that white translucent. I'm just gonna knock off a chunk there and then cut it up into small pieces using my long blade. I put that on some saran wrap just to keep the mess contained, and then I'm grabbing some white acrylic paint. I'm gonna add a little squiggle of that and then mix everything together. I applied just enough paint that I could cover each little piece with a thin layer. You don't want to add too much so it's gloopy, otherwise it won't set properly. And then I put this aside to dry, and once it was completely dry, I'm going to mix in some flakes of gold leaf. To help me bond everything together, I'm adding a squiggle of bacon bond, and then I'm going to start compressing everything to form my cane. I'm using quite a bit of pressure to squeeze everything together because I want it to be nice and solid on the inside and have as few gaps between the bits of clay as possible. So that's it for the first one, and on to the second. I'm using equal parts roughly of the white clay and the white translucent clay, and then just a little bit less of that regular translucent clay. I'm following the same steps of adding in my white paint and letting it dry, and then adding in my gold leaf. And I'm also going to add a little bit of some like pearlescent mica powder to this one. I will list that down below as well. A little bit goes a long way with the mica powder. You just need a sprinkle, and then I added in my bacon bond and formed the cane the exact same way I did the first one. For my third cane, I'm going to cut off a piece of that white translucent clay, and then I'm going to roll this out to about 1/8 of an inch thick. Grabbing more of my pearlescent mica powder, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on there and then brush it over the whole piece so that the entire thing is covered. I gently picked that up and flipped it over, and on the other side, I'm going to brush on a thin layer of white acrylic paint. It's important that this layer isn't too thick, because if it doesn't dry properly, then it will not dry at all and it'll be really weird and goopy when you go to cut it. When I could touch it and none of the paint came off, I started to roll it up really tight into this snaky shape. I gave that a good squeeze and rolled it out, and then kind of folded it in on itself. And as I'm forming the cane, I want to be careful that I'm not rolling this one around. I just want to keep kind of pressing it down towards the table until it starts to square off a little bit. I ended up doing a 4th rose gold cane just for the heck of it. I used translucent clay and then some rose gold paint and followed all the same steps. I just swapped out the pearlescent that I used in the second for this like burgundy colored mica powder, and I used a rose gold sheet at the end. I didn't love the hardware I had for this, which is why it's not going to be super included in this video, but I did want to show you just how I made the colors, and I will show you what it looks like once it's rolled out and baked. For each cane, I'm going to cut equal pieces and then lay them down side by side, just overlapping slightly before I go in with my acrylic roller, and then I'm going to pass these through my pasta machine on the 1 setting. So here's the first cane passed through, and then here's the second one. And then here's the inside of the third cane. Super pretty. I know it's kind of hard to see the swirls, but you will get a better picture of it once it's all baked. Even the rolled out sheet, you can barely see on camera how nice it is, but it's a beautiful pattern, I promise. So now I'm going in with my selected cutters. I'm just dipping them in a little bit of cornstarch to keep them from sticking. And then, as always, looking over the whole slab to make sure I get the choicest bits in my cutout. For any of my hardware that had the open pieces, I'm pressing that into the clay and then very carefully trimming away the excess with my X-Acto knife. And then I just picked it up and trimmed away the bottom as well before pressing it back in place. You don't need to press these all the way down through to the bottom of the slab. You just want to make sure there's enough of a groove that they sit in place, and we'll secure that later with resin. I cleaned up all the scrap pieces with my X-Acto knife and threw these in the oven at 275 Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. And here's what they look like all baked. I'm using translucent liquid clay to secure my backings on the earrings. I've resined them on before, I've glued them on. There's many ways you can do it. I just like the way this looks. I made sure to add a little bit extra on top of each of my backings, and then I baked these in the oven, and that's what they look like when they're done. For the front of my earrings, I'm using resin. This is the brand that I really like right now, and I'm just adding a dollop on each of my earrings and moving that around to cover the whole surface with some wooden skewers. I put those under my curing lamp to set, and then here are the first slab earrings, and I'm going to start pairing them with some hardware. We get a lot of our hardware off of Etsy and AliExpress. You just have to be really mindful of the reviews just so you can make sure you're getting good quality. We'll link any of the ones that we have links for down below, but obviously if you're making these for your own wedding, you can match them with whatever hardware you vibe with. I have 2 needle nose pliers to help me attach all of my jump rings and all of the pieces, and I'm just meticulously going through every single one. So here is the first slab design all finished. We went through and added the translucent clay on the backs of all of the earrings for all the sets, and then we did the resin on the front as well, so the exact same process as the first slab. So here's that second slab all put together. Here is the third slab. And then finally the rose gold. Again, I wish I had better hardware for these. I didn't end up using them. I'm gonna save them for when I have better pieces. And that's the video. Please let us know if you have any questions down below. To enter to win one of these sets, just like this video, be subscribed to our YouTube channel, and then comment down below which of the 3 sets you like the most, the first slab, the second slab, or the third slab. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.